Wow. Can you hear me?
No.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, girls. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you, Doc. Where's Councilman Jenkins? Thank you, Councilman Jenkins.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Best. Thank you, Charlene. And thank you to my beautiful daughters, Ariana and Aaliyah, for introducing me today.
Yes.
It was very important to me to allow my daughters to introduce me. I thought long and hard about that. Because for me, a large part of this campaign is about legacy. And not just biological legacy, but the legacy of our city. The strides that we're making now, the changes that we're looking to make in our communities, that will impact generations to come. Dr. Best spoke about my grandmother, and one thing that she would always tell me is that we're not going to be here forever. So it's the brand that you make and the mark that you make today that counts.
Yes.
So I'm not thinking about today, I'm thinking about tomorrow.
Yes.
You know, as many of you know, I was raised by my maternal grandmother. I thank God for her each and every day. Dr. Bess hit the nail on the head. She said a lot of what I was going to say, but I thank God for her because she just impacted my life so much. You know, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have a spirit of servanthood, because that's not something that you can just adopt or just decide that you want to do.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right now.
She taught me about community and being committed to your community.
Yes.
I can remember as early as maybe 4 or 5 years old, and some of you all won't know these names, but these are the people that impacted my life. I can remember as early as 4 or 5 years old canvassing neighborhoods with my grandmother, with Arthur Keyes and with Marge Kelly, passing out literature for other candidates. Back then, it wasn't big manufacturing. She would make buttons by hands and yard signs by hands. She would sit on the phone for hours on end working to get candidates that she felt was qualified elected to the city of Newport News. Those are the things that I carry with me even today. She was an educator, and I don't say teacher because it's different. There's a difference in being a teacher and an educator. She was an educator, so education was important to her. And it was no slacking, no second chances. You got it right the first time. And so she would bring a lot of her students home. Sometimes their parents would bring them by the house. And I was a pretty strong student, and she would say, "Oh, Angie, you gonna tutor this child." And you didn't ask me. But if you know my grandmother, there was no asking. You know, because she was a leader, she took charge. No, she told me I was gonna do it, so I did it. You know what I mean? But again, those are the things that I carry with me even today. And she instilled home in me. She would say, no matter where you go in life, no matter the accolades that you may have,
Yes.
no matter how many degrees you may get, no matter how far you may go away from home, you need to always know how to get back home.
Yes. Yes.
She said, you never forget where you come from. Because life can take you everywhere, anywhere. But you don't forget where you come from, because home is where the heart is. Mm-hmm. Your heart is where your family is, and you always take care of your family. The things that she instilled in me is the reason that I'm standing before you. Those are the things that prepared me for this very moment. My professional experiences, as well as my personal experiences, have allowed me to be able to say, well, I can be the clerk of court because I'm qualified to be the clerk of court.
Yes.
How do I know I'm qualified? Yes, I have the professional backing. I've worked in the federal government. I have leadership abilities. I've been a supervisor. I've been a financial management analyst. I've been an executive assistant to executive level of Democrats, of delegates and dignitaries on NASA Langley, but that's not what counts. It's servanthood.
Yes.
Because I am a servant and a true leader, that's why I know I can serve in the clerk's office. I believe that every level of government must treat everyone with the respect and dignity that they deserve. I believe that in order to lead in anything, you must first be willing to follow.
That's right.
I believe that we must adopt the I care model for all the veterans. You may know what that is. To operate in integrity, to be committed, to be an advocate, to be responsible, and to have a spirit of excellence. Those are the attributes that I will use to not only lead the clerk's office, but to take the clerk's office further. So I thank you all for being here today. I hope that you will continue to support me throughout the summer as we bring the clerk of court's office back home, and I sow into my family, Newport News, by becoming your next clerk of circuit court on November 5th, 2019.